more questions.
Yeah, Sam.
Yeah. Apart from the three business models that you suggest, is there anything else that you've done to enhance the OPCON's business plan? And if so, what?
Do you mean, improving the business plan of your team?
Improving
or
or
improving the business
enhancing?
model?
Improving or enhancing the business plan?
Yeah, first of all, as you suggested, we updated your documents by up-to-date information. And plus that, we converted your documents into another document, which is a generic business plan to help potential entrepreneurs in the future to writing their own business plans easily. And besides that, we used OPCON team's business plan to create two different execution plans for Mozambique and Malawi. And by doing all these improvements, we use different methods. For example, we use outsourcing, because since our team has only one business consultant, who is me, I didn't have that much time to do all of things by my own, starting from the scratch. So that's why we use outsourcing. We use two different teams from the business models course, and we use their reports if they are feasible and if they are valuable for our reports. So these can be improvements and enhancements based on your products.
And everything is, of course, properly acknowledged.
Yes.
Okay, more questions? Yes?
For the security point of view of your system, like for the database, how you ensure the security?
What we using SSL to transport the data, so for the data.
But what about the database? Like the injections, SQL injection, come as other attacks? Is it vulnerable or you prevent it?
If you mean for the database itself, the passwords are stored encrypted, and for the web page, in the web page of the login itself, we haven't added code for securing against SQL injection. Also, just because actually it's a kind of a dummy page that was not defined in page, so there was no kind of a worry on formatting this specific just the web page, since this is not going to be the one that actually is going to use.
I don't understand how the difference in the system from the model. Do you use a Navi? Yeah, it looks like from broad perspective, the Navi menu system do the same thing. You use Navi. Isn't that for monitoring the network?
The what we provided, one of the things that we provided was a web interface to manage all the systems. So in this web interface, you can actually first of all install network system, network servers, services like DNS and Nagios as one of them. Nagios actually for network monitoring, and other services like DNS or FTP or even a proxy server, etc. And for the Nagios, what we have done was to integrate it. So we made a model to easily install the Nagios, so the person doesn't have to go to the command line and answer a lot of questions. So you can just go there and click a few buttons and it installs. And for creating the configuration files of Nagios, this is a very complicated process, as we mentioned. And we integrated another open source software tool where you create this configuration file using REST approach, and which is quite simple. You can just kind of select the services that you're going to monitor and etc. So we didn't want to kind of reinvent the wheel. Since there were already some very good open source software available, we just integrated them all, so we could, for example, have the Nagios, but without all the pain of going to command line and big configuration files and going to complex configuration. But by doing that, we are okay.
So I see that Nagios has a web interface.
But for monitoring, so not for configuring itself, for configuring it itself.
Oh, okay.
Can I add there, you said this was an improvement of the GetMe.
It's a model that you create.
Yes. Did you submit that back to the community?
We sent back to the
we can submit this module as a certified module in the webmin domain.
Yeah. Have you done it, or do you promise to do it?
It wasn't good, but I think we have forgotten because of but it was part of the plan to set it back, so that because I'm not sure if we'll be working on that during the next semester, but the webmin domains can work. So.
Okay. That brings me to another question I have. The forum. I mean, the idea of the specific one, I mean, every piece, every component here has its own forum. But there seems to be no forum for integrating pieces. So that's your forum.
Yes, actually,
did it take on?
yeah.
Is there any discussions?
Yeah, I mean, as we started that forum just to collect all these different components together in the same forum, and we installed a HPBB Open Forum and invited our first contacted people, both from Uppsala University or from KTH or from Africa, and we have about 20 to 25 members, and they started to talk to each other, and we have several discussions going on, but it's not like we have numbers of users as Facebook. Yes.
Do you think it will survive?
Yeah, yeah, but it needs common support. I mean, we need to encourage people to take actions, to share their knowledge, because, I mean, as far as I've seen, it's my personal review, open source people are not tend to communicate that much. They do lots of good things, but they're not sharing each other constantly.
Yeah, and that's why I asked if Robert is here. Is Robert not here yet?
Oh, he doesn't want to share.
Robert Olsson is the driving force behind one of the pieces of components here, the Bifrost's Linux distribution. It's really a optimized Linux distribution for Valve. And I had this discussion with him and you about creating the forum, and he said, there is already this forum, and he is a nerd focused on Bifrost. And he didn't immediately see the need for another forum, but in the end I think he accepted that,
Yes.
that there is actually a need for a integrating forum that not only looks at Bifrost, but actually how to knit all this together.
But it still needs, as Alfred said, more people to keep working on, and actually to get the experts, the gurus from the other open source tools, like Knowledge or the Radios or others, to actually join the forum and start putting all the tools together, like making this integration work here.
More questions?
Yes, I have one question here. From outside, your system seems quite complex. I mean, you have a lot of different parts put into the system. And what you're doing is that you are trying to accomplish a need from a, I would guess, some operator in Africa who should install this later on. Your deliveries that you have accomplished for the moment, are those deliveries good enough to meet the ability of the operators in the Africa? And the forum is one part of this, supporting them in their installation work. But what is the status of your deliveries in that sense?
I would say that in a general way, yes. But for example, if someone thinks that, okay, this model, like, for example, is not user-friendly enough yet, then, I mean, all the models are open source, so the person or a group can actually customize and make it even more user-friendly. So when we started to use Webmin and to develop our own models and take some other models to use, choosing them to use, we thought about someone that has network knowledge, but not necessarily Linux knowledge to configure it. And for that, we think that Webmin can handle, and the documentation have written for how to configure the basic steps of those services can be applied for an operator in Africa or for anyone that has at least some network knowledge, or with the manual not even that much network knowledge. But if you want, I don't know, this to be kind of something for, I don't know, my grandmother or someone that has no computer knowledge experience, then you have to further work on the models, and they are open source, so it's up to you to make it the most kind of user-friendly or dummy-proof or.
But if you send your deliveries to the Cordova case, which is the specific case, would you assume that the operator of this network solution in Cordova will be able to take your things that you have made and put it into work?
Yes, we believe.
With the knowledge that he or she has.
Yes, we believe.
Okay, there are many more questions. Again, we need to continue, so we'll have to discuss more tomorrow.